the Big Bang. Music and mythology, Einstein and astrology, it all started with the Big Bang. It all started with the Big Bang.
Hi guys, this is Paulie of Paulie Gaming 27, and this is another episode of the Big Squad Theory, and this is the Natale Duality. Now, this team that I've put together is not as expensive as some of my previous teams, but it's amazingly effective. In some of the games that I played with this team, I managed to go 7 wins, 0 draws, 0 losses in Division 1. But unfortunately I didn't record those games, so what you'll see later are the highlights of the games I actually did record later on in the week when I had this team. So to start us off, as you'll see, we're playing 4-3-1-2. Now this was a new formation for me, I've never really played it, but it was quite effective and very interesting to try a bit of hybrid with. But our goalkeeper is second in form Weidenfeller. Very good goalkeeper, maybe not as good as Neuer, but he is cheaper. He cost me 48k, and obviously your budget keeper would be Visa, but second in form Weidenfeller is good for the money, so I would definitely recommend him. And then our left centre back, we have Naldo. Naldo's not great. 75 pace is quite good, but because he is 6'6", it doesn't feel that fast. But 90k is a relatively nice price for him, and he is a good player nonetheless. Our left back, informed Felipe Luis. Now, informed Felipe Luis has 82 pace, 81 passing, 80 dribbling, and 82 defending, and for 35k is an absolute steal. He's a great left back. Very good defensively, very good attacking, and I think for value for money he is just a great player all round. And then our other centre back is going to be, let me just find him, Felipe Santana. Now Santana is very common in a lot of teams, basically because he has 81 pace as a centre back, but he is an extremely good centre back. Sometimes wanders up the pitch a bit too much, but still, he cost me 1,900 coins in the right formation, so I might have paid a little bit extra, but I reckon for 1,400 you could probably pick him up, and that is an absolute steal. And then our right back, who is not Brazilian, is Inform Piszczek. Now I have a friend who is quite knowledgeable about Ultimate Team, who considers Inform Piszczek to be the best right back in the game. I maybe wouldn't go as far as to say that, but he is exceedingly good. 87 pace, he is very strong, 82 passing, 83 defending, and the rest of his stats are pretty rounded anyway. But for an 83 right back, he is really good. He cost 92k, but I think that's pretty justified for a player of his sort of standard. And then our left central midfielder is Lucas. Lucas is an amazing player, the PSG Lucas I'm using. 92 pace, and he is extremely good at centre mid. 88 dribbling, you feel all of his stats, and his long shots are pretty ridiculous. And I picked him up bearing in mind he was centre mid for 18k. I might lose some money on that, but I don't really mind because he is a great player. So our other centre back, if I put in 4-3-1-2, is Luis Gustavo, the Bayern Munich non-rare. He is one of the non-rare players that is highly recommended in Ultimate Team. Very well-rounded stats and a good defensive midfielder. I think he does normally come out of packs as a CDM. He is very good in this formation, and playing with those centre backs, it makes a very good combination of players. 81 is just robbery for him. He should be a lot higher than that, and he only cost me 3k in that formation. Once again, he's not the amazingly quick, but he has very nice ball control. And then our other centre mid is the other very decorated non-rare from the Bundesliga as well, Gundogan. Now a lot of people swear by this guy, and I can see why. You know, an 80 non-rare, 84 pace, 80 passing, 85 dribbling. The rest of his stats are pretty well rounded. Another vicious long shot on him, and for 1,300 coins you just cannot go wrong with that guy. And then our centre forward is Informed Diego. Now he was quite underwhelming for me. I prefer my sort of forward players to be pretty fast, and 77 pace just wasn't that great. Didn't make many runs, but his passing is amazing and his dribbling is superb. He is very good for getting round players here, there and everywhere, and very good for slotting it through to the front pair. So our first striker is Muriel. Now this guy is, once again, like Gundogan and Luis, an amazing player for his price and his rating. 91 pace, 76 shooting, feels so much higher than that, maybe about high 80s. 87 dribbling. How this guy is only a 78, I will never know. But also being Colombian makes him good for links up with Falcao and stuff like that. And you know, you look at his stats there, 42 goals in 35 games, 1,200 coins is just a steal. And then our last player is of course Informed Natale. Now Informed Natale cost me 436k. He sort of fluctuates a bit, but very good goal to game ratio, and his stats are amazing. His in-game stats are actually close to Messi's, which amazed me. 4-star weak foot, 4-star skill moves, very effective, and he does glide across the pitch. The one problem with this team, however, is the lack of heading ability, but this formation sort of calls more on playing through the middle. But you look at his stats: 88 pace, 89 shooting, 83 passing, 89 dribbling, and it's just stupid. And he is worth the coins you'll pay. So close to being as good as Messi, and just a great player for Italy and for Udinese. But anyway guys, let's jump over to the highlights, and you guys can see how this team played and some of the goals that I scored. So guys, game 1 we come up against a sort of Bundesliga Serie A pace team. You've got a couple of very fast wingers there, and I think that's Narsin. Relatively weak defence, but anyway, so we get off, Muriel goes through, a lovely little run, through ball, and Diego with the looped header. Not massively known for his heading, Informed Diego, but still he put that away pretty well. And then unfortunately this guy in the 8th minute gets one of his defenders, Douglas, sent off for an absolutely horrific challenge on Muriel. Really, he couldn't argue much against that red card. And then he messed about with his goalkeeper, Luis Gustavo, puts it away, and then he quits. Of course, a very obvious thing when you're in that kind of situation after about 10 minutes, 2-0 down and down to 10 men. And then the next game we come up against a Russian league squad, very pacey, very skillful, very well put together. Witzel there in centre defensive mid. And then you've got Di Maria puts it through to Muriel, a lovely cross, and Di Maria with that heading, Di Natale with that heading, and so many headed goals he scored. And then he manages to get one back with Honda, headers the ball off of the crossbar, and really there's no stopping that. And then he goes 2-1 up. Wellerton uses that pace off a pass from Gonzalez, and the power shot just completely comes off for him. And then some lovely interplay between Muriel and Di Natale. Di Natale passes it to Muriel. Muriel gets in, and just a lovely finesse shot past the goalkeeper. You know, you can't expect much more from him with that kind of the amount of money you'd pay for him. Then Honda gets down the wing with the ball. Wellerton with a weak foot shot, and it just slides past second and full Weidenfeller, and oh well, there's not much you're gonna do about that. Wellerton is a good player. And then the corner from Gundogan, Luis Gustavo ends up putting it away with a headed goal. And then we get the ball with Muriel, a lovely double tackle there. Natale with a nice bit of skill to turn inside, and we end up making it 4-3 in the 80th minute, and that is how the game finishes. A pretty nice game, very entertaining, lots of nice goals and interesting abuse of pace by both teams, really. So we then come up against a Bundesliga squad. Elia seemed to be a bit of a trend in some of these games, but he did have Goetze and Podolski, who's like my arch nemesis on this game at the moment. But we get the scoring off, Gundogan with the cross from a corner. Naldo makes the interception, and Di Natale gets a lovely little finesse shot off in the 14th minute of the game. Gustavo then picks the ball up around the halfway line, puts it through to Muriel. Muriel uses that 91 pace that he has, puts the ball across, and Di Natale with a lovely diving header. And poor old goalkeeper's not going to be saving that anytime soon. He then gets the goal back with a through ball from his midfield. I think it was Goetze. Farfan crosses it and onto Podolski's strong left foot. Once again, a nice finish, and I hate Podolski on this game, he's so good. And then he manages to make it 2-1 straight from kick-off. I give the ball away to him, a bit stupid from me. Goetze showing such insane ball control, and I feel bad that his shot didn't go in, but Podolski ends up finishing it off, and well, takes it to 2-2. And then he actually manages to get the winner. Podolski with some lovely skill down the wing, and Elia just there to clean up the pieces. A couple of scrappy goals by him, but still, you know, a goal's a goal, and the game finishes 3-2. Some lucky goals, but still, you know, goals happen. And then we come up against a silver team. Now, I did notice some very scary players. Husklep and El Unisi up front. I hate playing against those guys, so I was kind of edgy about this game. But he manages to give the ball away with his goalkeeper. Muriel crosses for the diving header to Di Natale that he's scored a couple of times now. And then Diego with a crazy through ball to Muriel. That is pinpoint, and Muriel's not going to be missing them, on his weak foot with a power shot. And then we finish the game off. It was 2-0. 52nd minute, Gundogan gets the ball, crosses it in to Muriel with a header, and unfortunately after that he gives up. He just stops playing, which is kind of annoying, which meant I had to just run down the clock. I didn't score any more goals because I didn't really want to taint. I didn't want to have 20 goals and like 5 games played on my Di Natale, so I just thought that I'd leave it, hope that he came back. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to do another one soon. I'm making a team now, but please subscribe, comment, and I will see you later.